This is the book of First Corinthians 8 and 1. Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. Reading it in the NLT. Now, regarding your question about food that has been offered to idols, yes, we know that we all have knowledge about this issue. But while knowledge makes us feel important, it is love that strengthens the church. All praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Peace and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. So, what I just read again was First Corinthians, the 8th chapter, the first verse. And it's going into food that's offered to idols, and how to conduct ourselves in relation to that particular topic. But the point being in the end of the verse where it says, knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. So, it's good to have all the precepts. It's good to get into the word, to study, to show ourselves approved, to rightly divide the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. It's a great thing to get into these scriptures and to know which precepts to pull, but yet knowledge puffeth up. Knowledge will make you feel like more than what you are. And there's always going to be a reality check. All right. And then sometimes in the faith, especially when we first come in as babes, you learn a thing or two when we may be caught up and getting puffed up. And this is why we thank the Lord for having men to set us straight and to keep our asses in order, man. Okay. To keep us on the straight path, to rebuke, to reprove, to chastise when it needs, when it's necessary. Okay. But some men haven't gone out and made their own camps, or they become to the point where they think they're the top teacher in Israel. They cut a few devils out there on the street. All right. They're able to pull some precepts, which again, that's not a bad thing. But when it becomes bad is when you let it get to your head to make you think that you're something more than what you are, and you're missing the bigger picture. All right. Because what does it say? Charity edifieth. Charity edifieth. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. So the real love to Jake is not all about the super cut session. Brothers lit up Broadway, laid down the spiritual guillotine on Times Square. This is not what this truth is really all about, man. Okay, we gotta speak to our people a certain way. Now, if in the first, second admonition they don't get it, then we tell them, give them their walking papers and move on. But when you become full of yourself in this faith, it can be very detrimental. And what happens is men being able to pull precepts, being able to do, to be able to, gather all this knowledge, this scriptural knowledge. But yet, if you don't have the prophecies down pat, then the Lord ain't dealing with you, man. Okay. And these guys become puffed up and they become very prideful. You can see it on the countenance of their face. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that in the Apocrypha. And that's why, hey, we went into that camp, that wisdom wisdom has a heavenly origin. Its origin is not on earth. It's not found in the land of the living. It comes from the heavens. All right. And not everybody has that knowledge and wisdom. All right. Because again, this is why we stress the importance of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We don't just say, well, the knowledge is great. Knowledge is information, but applied knowledge is wisdom. Okay. And then a lot of guys are not able to apply that knowledge that they have. And ultimately it has to be given from on high. Ecclesiastes 13. Yeah. Yes, Sirach 13 and 25. The heart of a man changeth his countenance, whether it be for good or evil, and a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance. So you can see the pride on these men's faces, being able to go into a cut session, and but you know, that's fine and well, but are you edifying the church? Are you warning them and really being shepherds to the flock? That's what the Lord is really watching for, man. And if not, then what happens? We will have blood on our hands if we don't do these things. Ezekiel 33:1. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, okay, which you claim to be watchmen, right? If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him, but he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. So there has to be real watchmen to warn, okay, of what is coming. Okay, and what is it with you guys? You have such a fervent passion to tell us what the mark is not. Well, if the mark is sin, then yeah, then the RFID chip is the mark, because to get a cutting in your flesh is. So why are you so hell bent on trying to make it okay for our people to do this? What is really going on here, man? Hey, the Lord is going to reveal all things, but it's highly suspect, man. Isaiah 62:6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of Yahweh, keep not silence. Right. So we're not keeping silence in the spirit, and we're bringing these things up. We're those watchdogs that are actually barking to warn our people. Again, if the mark is sin, according to you and many others, right? Even though that you really never get a concrete answer from these guys, man. You ask a few different men in a lot of these camps about what it is, you might get 10 different answers. You might get a whole bunch of different answers. You might get a few different answers. But if the charagma is sin, then the mark is the chip, because to get a cutting in your flesh is sin, and to put a mark from this devil, all right, inside of you, that is sin. So why are you so hell bent on saying that this is not the mark? This is not. Everybody can see that it is. Okay, we know that the mark, it is deeper than it's just sin. No, the mark is an actual physical implant, man. It's an actual physical implant. And many people know about this. Even people that are not in the truth. But why are you guys so hell-bent on telling our people that it's not, when clearly getting a cutting in your flesh and putting something inside of you is a sin? So why do you try to make a differentiation? Because you want to make our people feel like it's okay. As to what your motives are, or what's really going on behind the scenes, we'll see. The Lord will reveal it. But either way, you're going the hell off, man. All right, back in Ezekiel 33:7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth and warn them from me. You see? So warn them. Okay, this is what we were set up to do. When I say unto the wicked man, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. Yeah, if you take the mark, you're gonna die. There's no turning back from it. They want to make it wishy-washy, that gray area. Well, it ain't. If you do it, then it ain't a certified. Why are they so hell-bent on saying that it's not the chip? Because they know what is written about that those that take it is a certain judgment. So why are you trying to make it for our people to receive a mark from the devil? Oh, I'll say this. Why are you trying to open it up that our people will feel more comfortable or be open-minded to receive it? Because if they don't believe that there's going to be the fire of Revelation 14, all right, being tormented in the presence of the Lamb and the holy angels, well, then when that time comes, they may have heard your video, and they may not be able to take heed to the truth which is that it is the chip, and they may go and get it. And then the blood is on your hands because you could not call a spade a spade. You see? Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way, let me read 8 verse again. When I say unto the wicked man, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. If thou speak not to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity. Right. If they go ahead and take it because they watch one of your videos and the Lord comes, the Lamb and the holy angels come and destroy that man, he's destroyed in his iniquities. But yet, what does it say? But his blood will I require at thine hand. You see? So it's scary because a lot of these guys are in the spirit of Corey, Dathan, and Abiram. You know, that the apostles are no longer the head men of Israel now that the Lord set up. Now it's you. So it is a very strong parallel between what happened in the book of Numbers. A lot of you men need to go back and read Numbers, the 16th chapter, and pray for the Lord to take that spirit of rebellion off of you, man, because there was a horrific judgment, okay, that echoed out into eternity, man. We're still talking about it thousands of years later. That's how much of a judgment the Lord brought. So why tempt the Lord, man? Why tempt the Lord? Well, hey, what does it say in Ezekiel? And really, this is, again, we just read in the beginning, knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. All right. And in the NLT, it said love basically is beneficial to the church. I'm going to read it again real quick. So really, this is a labor of love because, hey, if y'all repent and start teaching the right doctrine, then it's all gravy. But, you know, the scriptures talk about the first and second admonition, you know, count them a heretic. So you already have heard it many times and you denied it. There's a Jake that came on the highways on Saturday, and as soon as he heard about the mark being the RFID chip, he ain't buck up. He received it straight away. He received it right off the bat. He said, "Oh yeah, well my mind was already to not take it, and now yeah, hell no, I ain't taking that shit." So this is what the real prophets was. This is the real word of prophecy is set up to do. Lord's will, we be those men. All right. Again, 1 Corinthians 8:1, at the end of it, it says, "But while knowledge makes us feel important, it is love that strengthens the church." Yeah, love strengthens the church. And the love is to keep the Lord's commandments. And the Lord commanded us to preach the right hey, there's laws pertaining to false prophets. Deuteronomy 13:1, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, okay, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. In essence, you're opening it up for that to happen. Because if you receive that idol, that charagma, like, why are you defending the devil's technology? Makes no sense. You know? Or why are you trying to make a gray area where our people will be more open to the devil's the so-called white man and Edomites technology? Why? Let's keep reading. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for Yahweh your power proveth you to know whether ye love Yahweh your power with all your heart and with all your soul. Look what it says here in the NLT. This is heavy, man. Do not listen to them. Yahweh your power is testing you to see if you truly love him with all your heart and soul. So false prophets are set up as a test to see who's gonna take heed. Again, I'm gonna read it again. I think I quoted. We're gonna read it. Ezekiel 14:9. And if the prophet be deceived when he have spoken a thing, I Yahweh have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. The Lord is going to cut off those false prophets, man. So hey, this is the labor of love, but based off things that have transpired in the past, I don't believe they're going to take heed, because they've already heard this many times. They had so many times. These men went up to the apostles in person. All right. But why even bother if you don't teach the same thing? If you don't believe the same thing. So you believe that the apostles are false prophets then. So why would you go and give those men their reverence and honor them when you don't even believe what they're preaching? That's very deceptive, bro. Deuteronomy 13:4. Ye shall walk after Yahweh your power and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice. Yeah, this is a commandment. Don't take the goddamn chip. How many how many more times does it need to be sliced up? That brother's going into the Greek, every single which way, chopping it up. Karagma, karax. The fact that karax is dealing with something to a steak, all right, something to cut with, something to make an incision. It's been chopped up so many ways, but yet they have not taken heed and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahweh your power. Yeah, by opening up our people to get into this beast system, because clearly that digital currency and them tying you into the Internet of Things and tying you into this image of the beast, which is this system of Edomite rulership, all right, that's clearly what's going to be this final nail in the coffin to seal you into this system. That mark, all right, that charagma, that bio implant, biotechno implant. All right, I'm trying to use my words carefully, but hey, Lord's will, the video stays up. But it says, I'll read the 5th verse again, and I'm gonna close it out with this, man. I believe the point was made. All right, Deuteronomy 13:5, and that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahweh your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which Yahweh thy power commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. Okay, false prophets, false visionaries, man, leading you astray, leading you into rebellion against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, this is all a test, man. And Lord's will, we can come out on the end passing with flying colors, man. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out right there. The point was made. All praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak. Peace and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the next one.